Good evening. I'm Karen Seidman.
And I'm Joan Brancaccio. We are co-presidents of the Shul of New York.
Welcome to the Shul's virtual Kol Nidre service. The Yom Kippur service is tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the kids program is tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. The Circle of Memories, when we will display the roll of remembrance, is at 4:50 p.m. The Yisker service is tomorrow at 5:50 p.m. We'll have a full afternoon of interesting programs on Yom Kippur. The schedule is available on our website, shulny.org.
As always, our services are available to all, regardless of ability to pay. If you are able and you haven't yet, please consider making a high holiday donation at our website, shulny.org, or by texting the word shul, SHUL, to 44321, or by calling the Shul voicemail at 929-265-7485.
Please be aware that some of our music is recorded, so you may need to occasionally adjust your volume for the best sound level. Feel free to create a community feeling by using Gallery View at any time. And remember, flash photography is strictly prohibited, but encouraged nevertheless.
We wish you and your families Lashana Tova.
Welcome and Lashana Tova. On this Kol Nidre, we add Gemara Chatima Tova. May you be written and sealed in the book of life. So as I look around at your shining faces in our Zoom shul, I do feel pangs of sadness, missing you. And I also feel the joy of being in this place, in this way together. Each of us is a vessel, capable of holding so much, asked to hold so much, especially during these very complicated and unsettling times. So take a moment to look around through the galleries. Settle in with me and breathe in this auspicious moment as we come together as a community. It won't be the same as in the past, congregating at the Angel Orensen's Foundation. But we know that this year, everything is new. That means that we have the opportunity to create new experiences. I will especially want to offer my heartfelt sentiments of gratitude to our wonderful High Holiday team. First, kudos to Don Brancaccio and his co-chief, Pete Grossman, for their technical wizardry in keeping us online and doing all the behind-the-scene work in preparing us, as well as sustaining us day after day. And many thanks to Joan Brancaccio and Karen Seidman, our co-presidents, for guiding the team of volunteers who have helped to make these holidays a reality. We welcome Rabbi Bert Siegel, who is joining us for the holidays. And of course, a great shout out to Adam Fetter, our music director, and the awesome Shul Band, who bring their hearts and energies to elevate our services. This evening, we begin by donning our talit. It is customary to wear a talis on Kol Nidre. So we begin with a prayer, if you'd like to join me. And if you don't have one readily available, just imagine a beautiful piece of cloth, something that you feel you can embrace yourself in this moment, and join me under the tent. O Holy One of Mercy, as I don this talit on this holy night, wrap your arms around me like a mother's embrace. Hold my tears of remorse and comfort me as I call on you in the spirit of hope. And together, we recite the blessing for the talit. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehikatef b'tzitzit. Blessed art you, O Holy One of Blessing, source of all being, who sanctifies through the practice of mitzvot and guides us to wrap ourselves in the tzitzit. So we continue with the candle lighting on page 2. And as we light these candles, we also kindle the light of the Spirit in our hearts. May our observance of Yom Kippur bring light into our lives and into the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadligner shel Yom HaKippurim. Blessed art you, O Holy One of blessings, sovereign in all time and space. You make us holy in connecting, calling us to kindle the lights of Yom Kippur. Amen. Adam, it's time for Shehecheyanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. אמן. Welcome, everybody. So good to be here tonight. I would like to introduce you to an amazing man, the Shul of New York's own Don Brancaccio. Don is behind the scenes tonight, as he is on most other nights and days, creating and stewarding, calendaring and coding all things Shul of New York. Don has served as our co-president from 2015 to 2019. He has been our webmaster since the day we went online. He is a tech genius, a fantastic father and grandfather, a mensch, a wonderful cook, and a very good-looking man. He is married to our now co-president, Joan Brancaccio. Hi, Joan. Don is a Shul community member who gives tirelessly of himself. Most likely, it is he who responds to your middle-of-the-night Shul email inquiries and complaints, so be nice. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing Don Brancaccio as he gives our not-so-traditional Kol Nidre appeal. Thank you, Don Brancaccio.
Good evening. Good evening. I have a cold. Good evening, and welcome to the Shul of New York's first, and I sincerely hope the last, online Kol Nidre. And for the young people listening, yo, Semite! Before I begin, I want to extend a very special thank you to everyone who has joined us this evening. I know using Zoom is not an easy task for some of you, so I think now is a good time to take a moment to visit the Shul webmaster who has agreed to emerge from this internet cocoon to answer your questions about Zoom. Yes, we can hear you. So helpful. Thank you. Before I begin, I must recognize the shul's spiritual leader and comforter-in-chief, Rabbi Eva Sachs Boulder. Rabbi Eva's energy and leadership during this painful time of pandemic and quarantine has brought the shul into our homes and lives every day. She has been an inspiration to those of us scurrying in her wake, trying to keep up. We are very fortunate indeed to have Rabbi Eva as our rabbi. And of course, I must recognize the shul's founder, Rabbi Emeritus Bert Aaron Siegel. Rabbi Bert's vision and enormous heart are the reasons that, no matter where we gather, we are always together for the high holidays. His unending dedication to the idea of acceptance of all who join us is the reason I am here tonight and what makes this shul so special. This year, more than ever, I am at a loss to find words to thank our Director of Music and Development, Adam Fader, and the shul band. In addition to the wonderful music that inspires and moves us, the dedication, ingenuity, and technical expertise shown by the band for the past 7 months has been nothing less than awe-inspiring. We cannot thank you enough for your love and support of the shul during what we know has been a difficult time for musicians. Doing all of this while under the influence of myriad dubious chemicals makes it all the more amazing. During our time in the Zoomiverse, Adam has created numerous music and dance events for the shul. For those of you who may have missed them, they are available online in the shul's video archive. For now, I will present just a small taste. First, the music. And now, the dance. Wow, just wow. My name is Don Brancaccio. I serve as treasurer and webmaster for the shul. As webmaster, I maintain the shul's website and database, and I am the person who sends those emails that I know you look forward to every day, multiple times a day. Your feedback has been very helpful.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
You're welcome. In my dual role as treasurer and webmaster, I have, in all modesty, become an indispensable asset to the shul. Like that great American river, named for that great American suburban housewife, Mrs. Pippi, I just keep rolling along. No one, with the possible exception of that world-renowned Jew, Abe Lincoln, has done more for the shul than I have. It is no exaggeration to say that without me, the day-to-day operations of the shul would come to a grinding halt. That is why I have taken it upon myself to single-handedly develop the newest fundraising effort for the shul. As a former co-president, I feel I am uniquely qualified to spearhead this effort, which makes perfect sense as I am, of course, also known as Don J. Brancaccio, super stable genius. Thank you. The first new item for sale in the shul online shop is the Shul of New York face mask. As you can see, it is a tremendous, high-quality mask that comes with a removable protective insert. What makes our mask extra special is that the insert comes in 3 different flavors: chocolate babka, gefilte fish, and schmaltz. Next, as any Jewish mother will tell you, chicken soup is the best cure for whatever ails you. Whether you catch a chill, get a cramp while swimming after lunch, or contract the coronavirus from wearing a mask, chicken soup is the answer. So I am proud to announce my Bubby's antiviral chicken soup, made exclusively with curated, free-range, artisanal chickens that are massaged daily and raised on a totally organic diet of hydroxychloroquine, alien DNA, and demon sperm. Now available in 3 flavors depending on your level of infection: Lysol, Clorox, and plutonium, imported from Russia. Finally, we present the shul's own COVID-killing ultraviolet flashlight. Designed for internal use only, both orally and not orally, the shul's ultraviolet flashlight employs the exact wavelength guaranteed to kill the virus on contact inside the human body. Side effects may include glow-in-the-dark eyeballs, hair and toenails falling out, and then growing in each other's place, and frightening stupidity. Welcome to the Shul of New York, the Shul of music, the Shul of perpetual simchas, the Shul of love. And of course, the Shul where everyone from A to Z, atheists to Zoroastrians, is welcome. I, of course, find this welcome especially meaningful. And it's not because I'm a Zoroastrian, not that there's anything wrong with it. So once again, I stand, well, actually sit, before you as the non-Jewish atheist treasurer of the Shul of New York, here to deliver the Kol Nidre appeal for 5781. Well, it's been a year. What's new with you? What can I say about this year that hasn't already been said about root canal surgery during a catheter replacement? I think we can all agree 5780 hasn't been as much fun as a barrel of rabbis. I prefer, however, to focus on the uplifting moments that give us hope and the people who have provided them, from doctors to nurses to grocery store workers to delivery people, everyone who risked their health and safety so those of us afraid to leave our homes might have some small semblance of normality to hold close. These people are why I can still, despite everything, maintain some hope for a better future. What they have given us, this hope, is a great gift. But a better future is not a gift. A better future is something we must create together. 4 years ago, I told you we had a momentous decision to make. I really thought I knew what I was talking about. I now know I had no idea exactly how momentous that decision would be, or how devastating an impact it would have on all our lives. Yet, somehow, here we are 4 years later, facing a decision even more important than that one. I would really like to tell you who I think you should vote for. However, my legal responsibilities as a board member preclude me from doing that, so I will not. What I will tell you instead is how I will make my decision and why I believe my decision echoes the values of the Shul of New York. We need merely look at the people running, the lives that have brought them to this moment in history, what they have told us about themselves through word and deed, and then simply pick the one that's most like us. It's not necessarily easy, though. We all have prejudices. We all have fears. And we have all felt fear recently. It isn't easy to push ourselves out of a dark place and into the light, but it's always worth the effort to remember who we are and what we value. I believe that we share certain values, the values that have brought us together to celebrate the high holidays in the Shul of New York. We are here tonight in this Shul because we value inclusiveness and acceptance, fairness and integrity, justice and respect. We are here because we approach the world with open arms and open hearts. We are here because we believe in the inherent dignity of every human being, no matter where they were born, no matter what they look like, no matter how they worship, even if it's not at all, and no matter who they love. If these are your values, if these are the reasons you find yourself in the Shul of New York, then I think your choice is clear, perhaps more clear than it has ever been. One more thing that should be crystal clear is that I'm about to ask you for money. Like many organizations, the Shul of New York is facing hard financial times. First, I want to acknowledge that some of you may also be facing these same financial difficulties. Please know that we understand and we feel for you. We know you have been there for the Shul in the past and that you will be there again when you can. Please do not feel guilty about this. We know guilt may come naturally to some of you, but please fight the urge. It's not like we haven't seen you for a year. We know you must be busy, too busy to pick up the phone even on our birthday. How can you find the time with Netflix and that Instagram and not wearing pants or makeup? We're fine here, all alone, walking back and forth from room to room, talking to dust bunnies. It's not like we won't be around next year because we contracted a deadly virus. No worries, really. However, if you can support the Shul at this time, we really need your help. As you know, the Shul received a surprise grant this spring. As helpful as it was, and as generous as some of you have been, we have not made up the revenue lost with the cancellation of our fundraising programs. We are forecasting a substantial deficit for this fiscal year, a shortfall of more than $30,000, the largest in the Shul's history. That's why we are asking you to step up again. You are the reason the Shul remains minimum dues free and open to all who wish to join us. We have always relied on your kindness and your generosity. And we know we can rely on you again to ensure the future survival of the shul. Even in the midst of this crazy time, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to support the shul. We cannot send volunteers to your homes with those fakakta shopping bags, but we have done the next best thing. On the screen now is the shul's new short-form web address, shulny.org. Easy to remember, easy to type, shulny.org. And for the first time, you can donate via text message. Simply text the word shul, S-H-U-L, to the number 44321. That's it. Text shul to 44321, and you will get back a text message with instructions on how to support the shul from the comfort of your smartphone. And of course, you don't need pants to come as you are donation. And in order to recreate the high holiday experience that you know and love, when the speech is over, switch into gallery view. Scan your screen for our volunteers to see their looks of pathetic desperation. They've been rehearsing for weeks. Here's mine. Thank you for listening. Thank you in advance for your kindness and your generosity. And thank you, despite a world gone for clumped, for celebrating the high holidays with your Shul of New York family. Thank you. Good evening.
I think that's the outtake reel.
How do we make a transition from that appeal to the appeal we are now going to make to God? Wow. As I wrote to Don, I don't think I've ever laughed on Kol Nidre. So thank you, Don, and beyond appreciation. And it is that time for us to take a deep cleansing breath, because we go into the deepest prayers of the year. So let's just settle in. I want you to join me in imagining standing before the Aron, the ark at the angel or incense. And as I take out the Torah, our sweet little Torah, I would prepare to recite the following Kol Nidre Kavanah, our intention. So please join me if you'd like on page 2 and 3, or maybe you would just like to close your eyes as we chant the words accompanied by Ernesto. I now prepare to unify my whole self, my heart, my mind, consciousness, body, and passions with this holy community, with the Jewish people everywhere, with all people everywhere, with all life and being to commune with the source of all being. May I find the words, the music, the movements that will put me in touch with the great light of God. May the rungs of insight and joy that I reach in my devotion flow from me to others and fill all my actions in the world. May the beauty of God rest upon us. May God establish the works of our hands, and may the works of our hands establish God. And together let us say, Amen.
Kol Nidre Vesare Vacharame Vekoname Vechinuye Vekinuse Ushavu Din Dana Deishtabana Dacharimna Vedi Asar Nar Vanavshar Dana Miyom Kipparim Zeh Ad Yom Kipparim Haba Aleinu Letova Kulon Lecharatna Lecharatna Vehon Kulchon Yon Sharon Shevitin Betelin Umvutalin Lasharin ולקיימים. נדרנה לנדרי וסרנה ליסדי ושבועתנה
Powerful, evocative, followed by silence. What can we say? Where do we start doing teshuvah on this solemn day of atonement? V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael. Let us begin by having compassion on all of us, for we are all flawed, and yet I believe we've all tried to do the right thing. We failed, but also succeeded, because we are humans. We don't want to say hurtful things. We don't want to be envious. We are acting bishgaga, unintentionally or unconsciously or even unwisely, but most often not maliciously. This Kol Nidre is an opportunity to make out of the many aspects of who we are a healthier whole. How do we move on to this new year? Maybe there be forgiveness for the entire community and all who live among them, for all the people have missed the mark. Please forgive the missteps, the sins of the people, in the greatness of your love, O Holy One of Blessing, as you have forgiven them since you brought them out of Egypt and to this very day. As it is said in your Torah, Vayomer Adonai, Salachti Kidvarecha. And God said, I forgive you as you have asked. We welcome Rabbi Bert, who will lead us in the reading of the prayer for forgiveness on page 4.
Yes, let's please all join together. May our prayer arise this evening. May our cry come before you by tomorrow morning. May our song be heard by next nightfall. May our voices arise this evening. May our righteousness be found by tomorrow morning. May our redemption be fulfilled by next nightfall. May our fast arise this evening. May our plea for pardon come by tomorrow morning. May our sighs be answered by next nightfall. May our search for refuge arise this evening. May we submit to you by tomorrow morning. May our atonement be granted by next nightfall. May our journey to salvation arise this evening. May our purest selves come by tomorrow morning. May our grace arise within us by next nightfall. May our memory arise this evening. May our community unite by tomorrow morning. May we see your splendor by next nightfall. May our knocking upon your gates arise this evening. May our joyfulness come by tomorrow morning. May our search for you be crowned by next nightfall. May our weeping arise this evening. May it reach you by tomorrow morning. May you answer us by next nightfall.
Thank you, Rabbi Bert. It's nice to have you with us this evening. So let us all change our screen to gallery view so that we can feel the energy of this community and even smile at one another. We've arrived at the Baruch Hu, the call to community, on page 5. Join me in prayer as Howard continues with our signature Shul of New York rendition. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Howard.
Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 la la lai 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 la lai 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 la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
As only you can call us into community. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
We move into the prayer that acknowledges the movement through the gates from day to night and night to day. Our tradition also compels us to enter the inner gateways of chesed, of love, of gevurah, of strength, and beauty, tiferet, to open the chambers of heart, mind, and soul through tefillah, through prayer, teshuvah, repentance. Living and enduring God, be our guide now and always. Blessed art you, source of all being, who makes evening fall. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamahariv Aravim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Ahavta. Your love, God, has no beginning and no end. Your Torah is wisdom, its path is peace. Teach us to live by your light, to search for meaning in your words. Hear, yes, you, Yisrael. Listen, my people, the breath of life. Our source, the breath of life, is echad, is one. Joined and united, we recite the Shema on page 6, followed by the Ve'ahavta, our prayer of radiating that love, chanted by Lily Lavner. Together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Lily?
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We felt you radiating that love all the way from Chicago, Lily. Thank you. So once more, Atonement Day has arrived. All pretense is gone. We imagine ourselves standing on holy ground between one moment and the next. And we tremble. Will the errors in our past teach us to walk in straight paths? Let us walk this path with humility and trepidation, followed in the footsteps of the children of Israel as they stood at the sea and called out, Mi chamocha ba'elim. Who is like you among the mighty? Who is like you, Holy One of blessings? This is my God forever and ever. Lisa Hart will lead us in the chanting of the Mi chamocha on page 7.
Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, oh, say, Nora Tehilot, oh, say, oh, say,
Thank you for guiding us across the sea, Lisa. So on Kol Nidre, we reveal ourselves in our fullest humility, in our fullest humanity, vulnerable, imperfect, as we surrender in awe to the reality of our lives. We ask for protection and peace in this most tender of times. Spread over each of us your shelter of peace. Just as we take collective responsibility for our misdeeds, help us connect to one another so that we understand our compassionate actions weave the canopy of wholeness. Just as we seek shelter underneath it, protect us during the pandemic and guide us to take the precautions to protect others by the sacred acts of cleansing our hands and masking in your divine presence reflected in the encounters with one another. Guide us in your wise counsel so that we cultivate endurance and discern better choices for our own well-being and that of others. Comfort us in all of the losses we are experiencing. Shield us from the isolation of sheltering in place, such that we feel the embrace from community, even when we are apart. Let the night sky with its canopy of constellations remind us that our prayers, our hopes, our yearnings are reflected in the expanse as the Sukkot Shalom, the canopy of peace. May we feel it enfolding connection. Source of truth. Our reality is difficult, yet we have made it. We have arrived on this Yom Kippur, ready to face another year with open-heartedness. Let us know grace and mercy as we are guarded in our going and our coming, in our sheltering in place for our life and for peace. May you spread your shelter of peace over us, over the Jewish people and our loved ones and the entire world. We need it now more than ever. Amen. So we transition into the Amidah, the silent prayer. Ki vayom hazeh yechaper alechem letacher etchem mikol chatochechem livnei Adonai litaru. This is the day when we search for the power to repair our lives. Give us the strength, God, to look within our souls and uncover how we need to change. Tonight, we will sit in silence. We ask God to create the possibility of connection, then pledge that we will respond to the opening God, meeting God in relationships, then reciprocity, and then words. There is no speech without two participants. There is no relationship without another. And there is no prayer unless we stand in our own readiness before the One. We will sit in silence, and then Tatiana will bring us out with Ose Shalom.
Say shalom, bimroma. Oh, say shalom, May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma.
Tatiana, you soften my heart. Thank you. I stand before you today, humbled by the trust this community has placed in me as your rabbi. I am overflowing with gratitude to all of you, to the leadership of the Shul of New York, and to our volunteer team who have devoted inordinate hours and commitment to help sustain us. Thank you. Rabbi Bert and the founders of the Shul who had the visionary chutzpah to create this community over 20 years ago. And to my compatriot music director Adam Feder and his troubadours who fill our hearts and souls every week with their creativity and musical inspiration. And I am so grateful to God to be here with all of you. Tonight on Kol Nidre, we were reminded that the Jewish path means remembering that we are here to provoke awe and purpose, to find meaning, to respond to the wake-up call in our time of slumber. We are here to cultivate a sense of gratitude, of belief that we do this better together than alone, to release our mistakes of the past year and vow to do better, to be better, to bring healing to ourselves, our community, and to the world. We are here because we cannot stop hoping for a better future, even when it is dark. And yes, we know these are very dark days, filled with so much pain and fear, brokenness and uncertainty. And yet, when we are feeling the weight of the world and the gloominess in our country, we can make the choice to feel hopeful as a practice to lift us up. We know that throughout the history of the Jewish people, hope itself has served as a great act of defiance and resistance. I learned this as a young child from my parents, who were Holocaust survivors. They taught me that Yom Kippur is a day we celebrate hope, for hope is an act of faith. Our challenge on this Yom Kippur is to have the courage to hope. We're challenged to face ourselves, our friends and family in our most authentic and vulnerable way. We're challenged to stand before God's gates and plead for another year to live. And in this year of living through a pandemic, through civil unrest, racial injustice, rising anti-Semitism, and threats to the democracy we have come to identify as Americans, we are challenged to believe that things can be different, that we can be different, that our country can be different, that the world can be different. This requires true courage and a lot of hope. The Hebrew word for hope is tikva. Do you recognize it from the Israeli anthem entitled Hatikva? The hope. The Hebrew shares the root kaf vav he, which also means to wait. We wait. We hope. But hope becomes a catalyst for change when you realize that it is not enough to just wait for things to happen. We must transform our waiting into action. There is a midrash, a story published in 1885 by Martin Buber's grandfather. And the text comes in two parts. It's a commentary on God's words to Noah. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark." And on this, the midrash says, Noah said to himself, "Since I only entered the ark with permission from God, shall I leave without permission?" And the Holy One, blessed be he, said to him, "Are you looking for permission? In that case, I give you permission." As if to say, then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark." The midrash then adds, said Rabbi Yehuda bar Eli, "If I had been there, I would have smashed down the doors of the ark and taken myself out of it." Our rabbis posit that when it comes to rebuilding a shattered world, you do not wait for permission. God gives us permission all the time and expects us to go for it. The contemporary writer, Rebecca Solnit, gets to this point in her bestseller, Hope in the Dark. She says, "Hope is not a lottery ticket you can sit on the sofa and clutch, feeling lucky. It is an axe you break down doors with in an emergency. Hope should shove you out the door because it will take everything you have to steer the future away from endless war, from the annihilation of the earth's treasures and the grinding down of the poor and marginal. To hope is to give yourself to the future, and that commitment to the future is what makes the present inhabitable." Throughout Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we recite the Unatana Tokef prayer. This haunting liturgical poem challenges the notion that hope means just to wait for something better to happen. But we hear the words, U'teshuva, u'tefila, u'tzedaka, ma'ivirim et roa hagazera. Through returning, through prayer, through acts of kindness, we can avert the severity of the decree. Our liturgy urges us to take responsibility and have hope that we can and will make changes in our own lives. Our Jewish narrative reminds us that these holidays are not about miraculous salvations, but rather are about taking responsibility and creating meaning for our lives by being full participants in them. The trust in Teshuvah is the hope and belief that we can change, that there is always the possibility to turn ourselves around. Tefillah, our prayers, give us the possibility to pour out our innermost hopes and sing them out loud. And tzedakah gives us hope by knowing that we are committed to building a just society. In this time of moral emergency, we come together to provoke awe and find meaning. We come together because we cannot stop hoping for a better future, even when it appears very dark. So let us remember that hope lifts us up. Hope is a great act of defiance and resistance. Hope is rooted in faith, in the possibility for a better tomorrow. At this moment, we are humbled by having lived another year. None of us know when it's our time to leave, but we do know that all of us will have our time. Let us be reminded that every moment is precious, that we might never take life for granted again. because we don't know when. We don't know why, but we do know two things. First, that the verdict can be changed. Written is not sealed. Miracles do happen. Also, we know that whenever our time comes, however we leave this earth, we can make it meaningful. Through our teshuvah, our tefillah, our tzedakah we live on, they require our attention each and every day. Let us pray to never lose sight of hope as we work to build a future based on the principles of right action, loving kindness, and compassion. May this Yom Kippur be meaningful for each of us as we ponder the big question: who are we being called to be this year? Gemar Chatima Tova. May each of you be inscribed in the book of life. Pardon me just a moment. It's getting warm in this room. So we look at the words, the Sefer Chayim, in this book of life. The Sefer Chayim, Beracha v'Shalom, Uvanasa Tova, Nezacher v'nikatev lefanecha. אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים, לחיים טובים ולשלום. We call to the Holy One of creation, reciting the 13 attributes of mercy. As you hear these words tonight, which qualities do you feel you most resonate with? Which qualities would you like to enhance in the coming year? Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed L'Halafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakech, Yod Hey, Vav Hey, compassion and tenderness, patience, forbearance, kindness, awareness, bearing love from age to age, lifting guilt and mistakes, and making us free. We continue with the prayer, Shema Kolenu, on page 9. This is one of the central prayers of the Yom Kippur liturgy. We call on God to listen to our prayers, to be present in our lives. Shema, Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem, rachem aleinu, v'kabel rachamim uv'ratzon et tefilateinu. Ash Ivenu, Adonai elecha benashuva, benashuva, Chadesh Yameinu, Yameinu, Kekedem. Listen to our voices. Yud He Vav He, our God. Have deep compassion for us and accept our prayers with loving kindness. Return us to you, our one, and we will be returned. Renew our days as in days of old. Help us turn to you, and we shall return. Renew our lives as in days of old. We continue by repeating our requests and expectations for forgiveness, pardon, and cleansing, the outcomes of the day that God has promised. This prayer reviews 12 relationships that we have with God and point out that each of these relationships provides an important reason why God should grant forgiveness. We join Seth Ginsburg on the top of page 10 for Ki Anu Amecha.
Lai ki anu amecha viata Eloheinu lai anu vanecha viata avinu lai anu avadecha viata Adonenu lai anu kehalecha Viata chelkeinu, lai anu nachalatecha. Viata goraleinu, lai anu tzonecha. Viata roenu, lai Anu karmecha viata notreinu anu faulatecha viata yotzreinu anu rayatecha viata dodenu anu segulatecha viata kirovenu Rayatecha viata dodenu anu segulatecha viata kirovenu.
Sad. I feel like you have spoken as someone who knows the relationship between God and human. Thank you. As we approach the Ashamnu and the Alchet, the prayers enumerating our missteps, we take a moment to understand what each of us needs this year to support our transformation so that we can offer forgiveness and be forgiven, and even appreciate our merit. We began on page 10 with the Vidui. Ashamnu. We've heard others. Bagadnu. We betrayed people who trusted us. Gazalnu. We have stolen people's money, time, or goodwill. Dibarnu dofi. We have used words as weapons. Hevinu. We have led others to wrongdoing. Vehirshanu. We have encouraged others to commit wrong. Zadnu, we have refused to admit our mistakes. Hamasnu, we have manipulated other people. Tafalnu sheker, we have preferred lies rather than truth. Ayalai, alai, ayalalai, alai, ayalalai, alai. Yatsnura, we have set bad examples. Kizavnu, we have lied. Latsnu, we have demeaned others. Maradnu, we have created drama. Niatsnu, we have lost integrity. Saramu, we have debased ourselves. Avinu, we have been untruthful to get what we want. Ashanu, we have ignored the needs of others. Saranu, we have violated other people's boundaries. Kishinu Orev, we have hurt ourselves and others. Rashanu, we have been violent. Shichatnu, we have let our impulses rule us. Tiavnu, we have degraded ourselves. Tainu, we have lost our way. Titanu, we have led others astray. Ayalai, alai, ayalai, alai, ayalalai, alai. Judaism urges us to honestly assess our lives and gauge our actions. Yom Kippur reminds us that we must also take collective responsibility. Whether we have directly or indirectly helped create the circumstances of our world, we have the need to repair and renew the world in which we live. Please join Rabbi Burt in the recitation of the Al-Chet on page 11.
Have we made time for ourselves? Have we taken our health for granted? Have we let our fears win? Have we said thank you? Have we been deaf to voices telling us unpleasant truths? Kulam elo slichot, slach lanu, Nichalanu, Kaper Lanu. For our failures of truth, for our failures of love, for our failures of justice, we ask forgiveness and the ability to overcome them. Have we made time for those who need us? Have we talked of others' failings behind their backs? Have we prevented others from showing their strengths? Are we clinging to grudges? Deyal kulam elo slichot, slach lanu, mechalanu, kaper lanu. For our failures of truth, for our failures of love, for our failures of justice, we ask forgiveness and the ability to overcome them. Have we hardened our hearts in indifference, in presumed helplessness? Have we forgiven in others what we condemn in Jews? Have we forgiven in Jews what we condemn in others? Have we stood up publicly for our principles? For all of these, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement.
So follow along. Am I unmuted here? With the words of the Avinu Malkeinu on page 12. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our prayers. Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, have mercy on us and on our children. Rid us of sickness, sword, hunger, destruction. rid us of persecution. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of a good life. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a good year. Feel free to sing along with our recording. We invite you to open your gallery view at this time, and the chat is being turned back on for you to send wishes and blessings to those in our community.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu v'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu v'aneinu, ki ein banu nasi.
So we conclude our service shortly. Dave will bring us in with the Vahashivota. It is upon us. There's only one. You'll find the words on page 12.
Vahashivota El levavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim Hu HaElohim V'nehemar V'haya Adonai L'melecha Kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
Dave, I hope to hear that version on many Friday nights. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So this evening, I have set out 3 memorial candles. I don't know if you'll be able to see that here. but I have 3 of them with a picture of my parents and my grandmother and my ancestors. The first is for my beloved grandmother who died on Yom Kippur 46 years ago. The second is for all of our relatives and friends who are no longer with us. And I invite you, if you'd like, to share the names in the chat. We hold their memories dearly. And the third candle this year is for all the 200,000 souls in our country alone whose lives have been taken too soon as they battled the coronavirus. Most of them were unable to receive a proper funeral and burial. May the light of their soul shine upon us during these holy days as we remember them in sadness and in prayer. May the memories of those who have gone before us be a source of strength for us all. And may the souls of our departed find peace in your sheltering care, dear God. And may we all be blessed with peace, tranquility, and the fullness of a new year of life. You'll find the words to the mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, on page 13. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'isman kari v'yimeru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam olmeo maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela u'leila min kol b'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'yalma v'yimeru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chayim tovim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimeru, Amen. And may their memories be for a blessing. So Rabbi Nachman of Breslov writes, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'od, ve'ha'ikar lo lefached klal. The whole world is a very narrow bridge. The important thing is not to be afraid. It's never too late to start over again, to feel again, to love again, and to hope again. So as you lay your head on your pillow this evening, take a moment to share the depths of your prayers with the divine, with God. Over the next 25 hours, what needs to be spoken and released? What prayers are hidden deep in your heart? May we each find a way to turn, return, and be turned as we step into a new year. May we and all of our brothers and sisters around the world know peace, comfort, safety, justice, and love. May 5781 give us the confidence and the courage to wake up and be fearless so that we can do what is right and just and compassionate and kind. And may our hopes be manifested into reality. And together let us say, Amen. So Adam will conclude with Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, la da da, ya da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, ya da da, ya da 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 da. Chesed Yibaneh, Olam chesed yibane, I will build this world from love. You must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh, Olam chesed yibaneh, Olam chesed Wow. Let's take a good look at each other in gallery view. Let's take a good look at our community.
Oh, Adam, I'm just missing everybody so much.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to call out any names, but I see you all.
Yeah.
So great. Even though we're on Zoom, I feel you, my people. I feel you. So, everyone, we continue tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And you can sign in on the same link that you signed in tonight at 9:50. There'll be music playing at 9:50 in the morning, so be in time, and we'll begin promptly at 10 a.m. and get a good rest. And because we're on Zoom, everyone can sleep in, fast from home, come back 10 a.m. Let's all be together for the whole day for a meaningful Yom Kippur day. Get a good rest, everyone. Sleep well.